Let's be honest for a moment. No one is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your parents, not some miracle around the corner. And deep down, you've always known that. But you kept running from it. Why? Because facing that truth means the end of your excuses. The funeral of every childish hope that someone else will clean up your mess, fix your life, or lift your burden. But here's the twist. That brutal truth is actually your freedom. When you stop waiting to be rescued, you start rescuing yourself. That's the real beginning. No more illusions. No more waiting rooms for someone else's permission. You are all you've got. And that is enough. It doesn't mean you're alone in the world. It means you finally stop handing your power away, stop outsourcing your responsibility, and start building something real with your own two hands. Look, hard truth stings at first, but it sharpens you. And if you let it settle, not in fear but in clarity, you'll realize this isn't the end. It's the first honest step toward who you were always meant to become. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Most people don't care, not because they're heartless, but because they're already drowning in their own problems, their own fears, their own pain. So while you sit there hoping someone will notice your struggle, understand you, validate you, they're doing the exact same thing. Everyone's bleeding quietly. Everyone's walking around with invisible wounds. And that harsh truth, it can either make you bitter or it can set you free. Because the moment you stop expecting the world to care is the moment you take back your power. Listen waiting for applause, craving approval, hoping someone will say, I see you, I get you. That's spiritual starvation. That constant need to be understood, it's a chain around your soul. You're handing your strength over for scraps of validation. But here's the Stoic truth. No one owes you understanding. And that's not cruel, it's clarifying. So what do? You become the person you've been begging the world to be for you. You give yourself the respect. You give yourself the discipline. You give yourself the silence to stand tall when the world is noisy and confused. In a world full of people waiting to be rescued, be the one who rescues yourself. That's Stoic strength. That's real freedom. And it's yours if you're willing to stop needing and start becoming. Let me ask you something simple but uncomfortable. What do you chase? Approval? Pleasure? Status? We all chase something. But here's what no one tells you. You are owned by what you chase. If you chase being liked, you're a slave to what people think. If you chase pleasure, you're a puppet to your cravings. If you chase success just to be admired, you're trapped behind a mask you can't even breathe in. This isn't freedom. This is quiet imprisonment. And most people never even realize they're locked inside. See, desire wantinga is the oldest prison we've ever built. Wanting to be comfortable all the time? It makes you weak. A man who kneels for comfort never learns to stand alone. But freedom? Freedom begins the moment you stop needing. When you no longer beg the world for comfort, attention, or applause, you finally stand on your own 2 feet. Here's the truth. The more you need, the more control the world has over you. But when you strip away the need when you want nothing, you become something very few people ever do. Untouchable. And no, this isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about becoming solid. It's about becoming whole, so full inside. The outside no longer defines you. So next time your heart reaches out for comfort or praise, pause. Ask yourself, am I chasing strength or selling my soul for approval? Because real power, it's never in what you get. It's in what you no longer need. Let's be honest. The modern man is drowning in his own thoughts, overthinking, comparing, second-guessing. He doesn't act, he analyzes. He waits until he feels ready, until it feels perfect. But here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud, you can't think your way into strength. You have to act your way into it. You want to be confident? Act, even when your hands shake. You want clarity? Take a step, then the next one. Because action is what transforms fear into fuel. And that fear you feel, it's not a stop sign. It's a signal that something important is at stake. Now let's talk about pain. Most people treat pain like an enemy. They run from it, numb it, distract themselves with comfort, noise, or pleasure. But the Stoic doesn't run. He turns and faces it. He sits with it. And he asks a question most people never dare to ask. What lesson are you here to teach me today? Because pain isn't cruelty. It's the whetstone. It sharpens the dull edges of our character. It carves men into something harder, clearer, stronger. And when it comes to fear, you want to know the antidote? It's not motivation. It's not waiting for confidence. It's action. Small actions. Repeat it in silence. Do it scared. Do it unsure. Do it anyway. Because the man who moves in fear becomes untouchable by it. Let's talk about something no one likes to admit. Your ego is lying to you. It whispers that you're special, but it crumbles the second you're misunderstood. It tells you that you need to prove yourself to strangers who won't even remember your name next year. You perform. You overthink. You chase approval. And before you know it, your strength is gone. Because here's the truth. You don't kill the ego with words. You kill it with action. Silent, consistent, unshakable action. You stop explaining yourself. You stop looking for applause. And you start doing the work, especially when no one's watching. And that's where discipline comes in. Not the fake kind that shows off in public, but the kind that lives in solitude. Those quiet hours when it's just you and your thoughts, that's where warriors are forged. Solitude isn't rejection. It's the proving ground. It's where you face the mirror and finally stop running. Every hour spent wrestling your inner demons is an hour they lose power over you. And yes, there will be days when you're exhausted, when your body says rest and your mind says quit. So rest. But rest like a soldier, not like a slave. Then stand back up and keep going until even your own mind says, I trust you now. That's discipline. That's the weapon no one can take from you. Let me tell you something that most people avoid admitting. Discipline is not hard. What's truly hard is living a life without it. Waking up every day knowing you're not doing what you said you would. That quiet guilt, that hidden shame, that's the real pain. Because while the man who trains daily suffers in small doses, the man who skips it bleeds a little every day. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So yes, discipline stings, but lack of discipline slowly kills you from the inside. And here's the twist. Most people never realize. No one's coming to save you from that. No one's going to wake you up early. No one's going to pull you off the couch. No one's going to force you to rise. In that's not something to be afraid of. That's freedom. That's power. You're not being abandoned. You're being handed the full responsibility to shape your life. That silence in your room, that's the sound of the world stepping aside to see what you'll do with it. So don't curse the solitude. Embrace it. It's your training ground. It's where average men crumble and warriors are built. Nobody cares. And that's your edge. Because when you stop needing someone to push you, you become someone who can't be stopped. There comes a moment in every life when you realize no one's coming, not to save you, not to validate you, not to apologize for the pain they left behind. And in that silence, you're faced with a choice. Keep begging life to be fair, or rise and become what you've always been searching for. Stop chasing love, become whole instead. Stop seeking sympathy, build a backbone instead. You don't need the world's approval when you trust your own soul. And here's the truth. You came into this world alone, and one day you'll leave it the same way. What you build in between, that's the only thing that's truly yours. So build something real. Build a self that doesn't need to be rescued. Stand in your own silence. Speak only when your words carry weight. Rest only when it's earned. Bleed, but with purpose. Fall, but always rise sharper. Don't wait for an apology that may never come. Don't waste years hoping someone else will understand you, because they won't. And that's okay. That's freedom. When the storm comes, don't run from it. Be it. Be so grounded that no chaos can shake you. Be so quiet that noise can't reach you. Be so disciplined that nothing owns you. No one cares? Good. Now you're free to become unstoppable. This is the Stoic warrior's way, and it starts in the dark, with you.